Yo, welcome to the Scoop with Dukes Monday Night Live. I am reporting live from the MIAO, Miami, Florida. But hey, I had to come in and make sure we talked about it, dog. As the fam, usually we keep everything open and we can talk about other college teams, but I definitely want to come talk about uh, the Colorado Buffaloes and what they can do to right the ship. I thought it was really cool today to see Coach Prime early today get on his Instagram and say, I still believe. So if you see the thumbnail, that's what it says. I still believe. I thought it's super, super important for the CEO to say, all right, I get it. I hear you, but I still believe. The importance of that is because when you're a fan of Colorado, okay. I'll give you a quick story. So there was a time when I was working with Coach Prime. Well, actually working with Dion, working with Bucky, and we were doing some work, and he understood. And there was we had more work doing outside of media, and before we getting to know each other and working things out, he understood. He said, there's some things that go along with working with us, and you're gonna get some hate. It's coming. When I take people in, some hate comes. And I heard him. And he understood, and he was just preparing me because he was like, man, people gonna talk bad about you when you rock with us, dog. And so that wasn't just because I'm a Sanders. That wasn't because, and this was the business. This is what we had going on then. But I said that to say it even reaches down to fandom. Think about being a Colorado fan and how many times people say, "Oh, you just a bandwagon person." Man, why you following that snake oil preacher? His sons can't play for real. He don't care about black folks. Why they ain't stay at Jackson State? They can't wait to see Colorado lose. And even as a fan, people will ridicule you for being a Colorado fan. Hell, they will ridicule you for being a Deion Sanders fan, right? A Shador fan. Think about it. The eyeballs that are on Colorado's program don't just come from they don't just come from people supporting. They come from people hate watching too. So I thought it was important for him to go out and say he still believes to the fans, especially the fans who stand up for him and knowing stuff is wrong, the army of media supporters that he has and that Colorado has. I think it's important for him to go out and say that. And I just want to make sure that I put that out there. It's like, all right, this is why I thought this was a cool statement. Now, this is football. You can believe, and Coach Prime will say the same thing. You can believe all day long. But just like even when you believe in the Bible, what it say? Faith. I'm finna go Martin Luther Dukes. Hold on, y'all. Faith without works is dead. Straight up. So Coach Prime believes, everybody believes. All right, that's cool. But even though you believe, you got to do it between them dotted lines. From sideline to sideline, the product got to add up. Right now, let me tell you something. If you think Wyoming is about to come into the Folsom Stadium and lay down, you crazy. Wyoming, so when Utah is ranked 20 right now. That score at halftime was 3-0. They scored 2 times in the third, 2 times in the fourth, and it ended up being 31-2 touchdowns. They scored 28 points in the second half. That game was 3-0 at halftime. If Colorado don't figure this out this week, don't think Wyoming is just coming there not to play. They got some soul searching and stuff to do this week. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. You can that was a bad performance. I don't think that performance is indicative of the talent level on the team. This is what I will say. I think Coach Prime believes so much in this team that if this performance doesn't go well against Wyoming, yeah, I think it's going to be sweeping changes. I really think it's going to be some big-time changes if things don't go right, because you can blame the execution, you can blame the players, but Coach Prime is the type of person that he's going to look inward, and he's going to say, did I make the right decisions? So this is a big game for Colorado, because you can't, when you got a team full of 18 to 23-year-olds and it's not going well, we've seen Coach Prime do this before. He will go to the top and make a change. And right now, I'm not calling for anybody's job, and I make sure I always say this. But I'm saying there's going to be some soul searching from a higher level as well. I don't think that they're just going to continue. They're not just going to say, oh, it's just the players. Nah. If it was just the players, then Coach Prime wouldn't have been at he wouldn't have been after that on that press conference afterwards saying he's at a loss for words. I think you're going to see a lot of different people out there this week against Wyoming. I don't know what you guys think. I think Caden Salter starts. I think Salter starts, and I think it's going to be important for him to. When you look at this game plan, Wyoming gave up over 500 yards of offense to Dampier, Utah. Quarterback, dual threat quarterback. Very similar skill set. 300 yards rushing, another 230 passing. Caden Salter can lead that type of offense. If you're not looking at Wyoming's weaknesses and saying we have the personnel similar and using that personnel, I just don't see it. I don't watch too much football. Now, mind you, I said watch football. I ain't never coached no at this level. I ain't never played at this level, and I don't never act like I have. What I'm saying is it don't take a rocket scientist to see that when you look at this, when you look at what happened last week with Wyoming, you have a skill set that could do something similar. I think Caden Salter, as long as he don't do nothing off the field, I think he starts. When you talk about the running back room, Simeon Price he's got the hot hand. I think you got to play Price. Run him out there first. He's got the hot hand. Let's see what that combination looks like, right? Then I think Tawfiq Bayard, you saw the amount of tackles that he made in that game. I think he's got to play. Alex McPherson, young as he is, he's got to play. You hear everybody talking about what's up, Ohio 30. My bad, y'all. Y'all know I just got straight to it tonight. But because I thought it was apropos. You feel me? Like just to go on and get to it. Drop your location. Drop where you from. My bad. I just got in here and got to run in my mouth. But when you see that roster, I really feel like the Georgia Tech loss, like Under the Family says, we overreacted to the Georgia Tech loss. If y'all know, especially the people that are subscribed and have been here, and if you ain't subscribed, go subscribe. Go become a member. Go to the item description. There's a link on the page where you can become a member. But go become a member. But if you follow, you know I was saying, hey, that Georgia Tech Clemson game is going to be one to watch. For sure. King on the Throne, crazy. I mean, hey, look, King on the Throne said I was in Miami to get some Drake abs today. He thought I didn't see that. I saw that. But now, Nassau, what's going on? Brooklyn, New York in the building. But Georgia Tech is a quality team. So, but they're going to do, like, BYU's they're going to watch that Georgia Tech tape. If you think Willie Fritz didn't watch that Tech tape, you crazy. They're going to seek out to exploit those same deficiencies This goes back to Kansas, Devin Neal, Jaden Daniels last year, BYU last year. They are going to try to exploit these same deficiencies. They got to get fixed in a hurry. I'm telling you, if I know Coach Prime like I think I know him, and he's a very complex man, but if I know him like I think I know him, he is at them. He is at them coaches, just like them coaches are at those players. I'm telling you, it's gonna be tense. And it's two things that they're gonna do. He said he wanted to do two things this year. He wanted to run the ball. He wanted to stop the run, play defense. Both of them things are gonna happen. What y'all think? So I haven't been going. I haven't been going to the comments. If you got a question or you got something you want up there, you can drop a super chat. I'll make sure I see it. Chat going crazy. I'm gonna try to take a couple of them out of here. Loganville, Georgia in the building. Kadarius Tennessee, CPGA, but I stay in California now, College Park. The main man got a good one. He said, "Hey, Dukes, what's the point of having all these Hall of Fame players on coaching staff and the product doesn't match the results?" I think that's one of those things that Coach Prime is going to say, all right, he's going to ask himself the same thing. Now, do I think that the Hall of Famers are doing a bad job? Most of them position coaches. I don't think so at all. I think what it's going to take is understanding. The players need to understand the game plan, the game, and the position coaches need to understand what each is doing. And the personnel group is everything has to work in sync. The individual teachers need to marry up to the larger teachers. And right now there's something going on. There's a disconnect between the game plan and the players and the execution. You could blame some of it on the players, you could blame some on the coaches, but they got to take that all together. They have to be in unison with the blame. These are questions that are going to get asked. And I don't think people are going to shy away from them because they want to say, all right, we got these Hall of Famers. All right, where are our results? We got the roster. Where are our results? So that's a great question. And I think that's one that you'll see after the Wyoming game. It's going to have to get answered this week because Wyoming is not going in there to lay down. And they're 14-point favorites. I almost think that if you don't beat Wyoming by 2 touchdowns, there's going to be some heads. I'm telling you. If you, like Coach Prime is saying, he's believed, he's being quiet, he's being poised. But yeah, we're gonna see. Rodney Dinkins, man, 6 months worth of membership, man. I appreciate it. Rodney Dinkins said, Dukes, I really feel like Juju is the best option at QB. He is a very accurate passer and has a very high football IQ. I don't think, me personally, I don't know if Juju got the 2 series that he got against Delaware. I don't know if they were created equal to the playing time of the other guys. I think Coach Prime knows what Juju is. I think Juju's got it. There's just going to be some maturity to making sure that he can lead men. But there's not a doubt in my mind that if things don't, you can see Juju starting sooner than later. If this thing don't go right against Wyoming, he may be the best option. He just is what it is. Tremendously talented player, super accurate, poised, and your first action, sometimes it takes a little while to get going. So I don't think Juju's stock dropped because of the Delaware game at all. I think what happened was Staub just went off. Look, all right, and I'm going to talk about this in 1 second. I'm going to get to this other super chat, then I'm going to talk about that. Ohio 38 with a $2 super chat, man. I appreciate it. Said it's time for Coach Prime to start moving some furniture. It's going to move. I'm telling you, the man done got his weight back. He's starting to look a little more spry on the sideline. All right. I just don't believe that he's a winner. And you know what happens when winners lose and they know they're not supposed to be losing? This ain't the first year of 4-8. This ain't that first roster. This roster is really low-key loaded. If they can't figure it out, he gonna figure it out who can figure it out. That's just what it is. Easy Walt said, Star Juju give him max protection. Isaiah Watson said, Star didn't really go off, though. He had 2 touchdowns off blown coverages against lesser opponent. But, I mean, in that short, and with 10 attempts, nobody did what he did in 10 attempts. That's what I mean by go off. In 10 attempts, he went 7 to 10, 2 touchdowns, and a bunch of yards. And with the blown coverage, he pointed it out and said, all right, I'm checking out of this. So that's why I said he went off. And in comparison to the 2, it did look like he went off, but that was a very small sample size. Now, I don't know if it was just the game experience itself, why, it was taking that moment under the lights was looked at in that, because it bought him a whole game. But I don't know if it bought him any time after that. King on the Throne said Coach Prime should take the UCLA job or the Florida job. He's gonna be a hot name. Every year it's gonna be a hot name. He's gonna be a hot name every year. Dude, Miss Sunfire, what's up? She said, why does it seem like Jordan Seaton is just standing around on the field on my tripping? I don't feel like he's just standing around. I feel like I know one thing. So on the morning run, shout out to Uncle Neely, Big Dog Chico, and Carl Reed. Coach Carl Reed this morning said that Bobby Petrino told him as a young coach that you got to FTS find the studs, right? Get the ball to the studs. Jordan, and my response was, that includes Jordan Seaton. Well, you're not throwing no lineman reverse. You're not throwing a lineman drag or anything like that. But what I'm saying is, run behind Seaton. And I think Seaton is kind of like some of his disappointment is like, look, just run. I got this dude. Run behind me. I'm the top 5 pick. Run it behind me. Yes, I'm a left tackle. This dude can't mess with me. Run it behind me. And I think that's a part of sometimes if you see a little bit of disappointment on his face, it's just like a wide receiver when they get open and they throw their hands up like, hey, man, I had him. I think that may be some of the body language, and that's only conjecture because I don't know. But that's just what I think. Another super chat. Super chats go to the front. My boy Apostle 06, what's up, big dog? Straight out of Jonesboro. He said, bro, I was at the game. They played soft. You really think the quarterback will change the narrative? I don't think the quarterback changes the narrative. What I think it does is it buys you more possessions. I think that Staub is really good in 2-minute drill. I think that in certain situations, he can be really good. But I think as far as the threat that K-Salt presents more consistently, that just being able to stretch possessions out. They only had the ball once in the third quarter. That was crazy. Third quarter, 3 downs in the punt. And Houston had the ball the rest of the quarter. I'm not sure if that's exact, but that's how it felt. You got to have a guy who can extend, like that makes your defense better. And just being able to extend the drive, it doesn't let the offense pin their ears back and build that confidence. So I just think that as far as playing soft, I think the morale of the team was down. Like they looked a little defeated. And I thought Coach Prime did a good job of not jumping on them right after the game from what I saw. It's like, all right, I don't know what's up, but we're gonna figure this out. You ever see like a child when they do something bad at school and they know they did something bad and you got to whoop them anyway, but you still just kind of be like, bro, just gonna go in there, go to sleep. We'll get to it tomorrow because you know what you did. Well, me jumping on you ain't gonna help none tonight. And I think that's kind of what that was. But I can assure you, I haven't seen any of the tape from well off. I haven't watched any of the practice film or anything. But I bet you it's going to be a lively practice because I know the conversations. I'm sure the conversations that Coach Prime's got to be having with the coaching staff. Because I think a lot of people you see a lot of people saying, ain't nobody keeping it real with Coach Prime. Ain't nobody keeping it real with Coach Prime. Coach Prime need to fire his coaches. He sees everything. One thing about it, if I don't know nothing else, Coach Prime don't miss nothing. He sees it all. He may not respond to it all, but he sees it all. And I think that Coach Prime knows, like you'll be surprised how often he watches this, or somebody will send him a clip from this, just for me going live. And he knows for a fact he's a football player. He's a football lifer. That man is married to the game of football. Everybody knows when the players don't respond, at what point, Shane Campbell, what's happening? Everybody knows that when the players aren't responding, who's next to go? So don't think I just want people to. I think people thinking that just like, oh well, Coach Prime just hired a bunch of his friends. He's scared to coach his friends hard. Man, one thing I know, Coach Prime don't believe in nobody outside of Jesus Christ himself. The one person he believes in more than that, not more than that, is he believes in him. He's gonna bet on 21 Black, and the people around him just gonna have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, he made changes in the offseason that he thought were the right ones to people that he probably got great relationships with. So I think people think that Coach Prime is like, he ain't gonna make no changes. Man, if this don't change, he will make changes for sure. What else, Shane? I think Shane, where you at? You like in Bali? Somewhere like that? All right, this is a good one right here. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like and subscribe button. Jordan Smith said, Dukes, all I ask is that you, Neely, and everyone close to Prime continue to keep him accountable. All right, listen. So it's not even an accountable thing for me. This is what I would say. Coach Prime asked everybody around to keep it real. Coach Prime called me, I'm going to keep it real. This is me keeping it real. I'm like, look, that was a bad product that's a bad product that was put on the field on Friday. You can't keep it no realer than that. Like, let me ask you this. For the people who say keep them accountable, and I ain't fussing Jordan Smith, I just really genuinely want to know, what would you say to if it was you, what would you say to Coach Prime, Deion Sanders? What would you say? And Jordan, anybody, what would you say? What I would say, I'd be like, hey, Coach, I got to figure out. I'm just like I say now, Coach, I got to figure out how to run the ball. I got to figure out how to stop the run. That's what I think. And you got to get the right guys on the field. But this ain't it. What else would I say? I got a bunch of partners that's coaches. This ain't it. Whether it don't matter what school. Like, hey, that was a tough one. That wasn't it though, big dog. He ain't look good. And a lot of times you don't even have to say that because they get on Twitter, they read it. And a lot of times they get rid of Twitter because they know what's being said. So if I just my conversation, what I would say, I would just be like, look, man, run the ball, stop the run. That's what I would say. But it ain't too much. Bro, what the hell I'm gonna say to Coach Prime? Be like, this Deion damn Sanders. What I'm gonna say? Be like, hey, Coach, here to hold you accountable with my like what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna be like, but I will say, hey, Coach, if he called and asked me, like, what you think, Dukes? Because he's asked me before, like, what you think? And I'd be like, all right, it looked like this. This is what I saw. And that'll be that. But it's usually not football. It might be something else. Because what the hell I'm going to tell him about football? It's Coach Prime. Damn Deion Sanders. Like, I can't. If Kirby Smart, I'm not holding Kirby Smart accountable, like, or Hugh Freeze. Kirby Smart, really my partner. Like, that's my dog. Coach Freeze. T. Will of Arkansas. Shout out to Coach Pittman. Man. Sonny Cumbie. Like, I know a ton of guys. I'm not calling them being like, hey, that, but I got to talk about their team sometimes. Because in this industry, like, you got to think, like, a lot of the guys I came up with end up getting big jobs. So, it puts you in a tough position if you build outside relationships with them. But the thing is, you got to be a fair media person for them to respect you. Like, you got to be fair, but you don't have to dog nobody. You know what I mean? Because it's people everywhere looking to dog them. But yeah, my personal opinion, you got to stop the run. That's been since last year. You got to figure out how to stop the run. All right, Jordan Smith. Hey, and respect to Jordan Smith, because I asked him to respond, and he responded. So respect to you, dog. He said, I think some players like Bayard and Myers shouldn't be on the bench anymore for sure. I can go for that. I definitely can go for that. And y'all, I know this is a tough subject, especially for like diehard Colorado fans. But man, sometimes, man, you know what they say, man. I got this from the late great Pimp C. Medicine don't taste good. It is what it is. Jay Posey said the biggest problem is not being able to keep the drive going. They have to want to score every drive. Yeah, you got to have good drives. Yep, you got to have good drives. Fat Don says stopping the run consists of playing gap assignments for sure. Like, it's the gap assignments, and then it's the calls too. For sure. Rob the Man, much respect to Rob the Man. What's up, big dog? He said we got to identify 2 players on offense that we must get them the ball for us to be successful on offense consistently. I can see that. I think that, but see, it all works hand in hand, because somebody has to rise to the level of play that, hey, you know what? I deserve this more. I deserve this touch more than the next guy. And I think they got a lot of talent. And that's the thing about when you got a lot of players who are real talented. I think when you got a lot of players that are talented, you got to rotate. And like they say, ride the hot hand. It happens all the time. You just got a really talented roster where you want to continue to rotate. But you're right. I feel like you got to tighten the rotation. Rodney Dinkins, he's a member. Members chats go to the front as well. He said, it's easy to say what you would do until you get in that situation. And we don't see everything that happens at practice. Yeah, I would also say we don't see, like, what happens in meetings. We don't see what happens in, like, the weigh-ins. We don't see what happens, like, who's doing well in class. It's a lot that goes to it, that goes into it. I would say that. Feed Sincere, he already proved he's ready versus Delaware. Just give him more targets. Yeah, I mean, we got to see how. Yeah, I mean, this is a forum where you can talk about what you think is going wrong. That's what this is for. Go Buff said, I don't think they're deep as they claim. The places that I don't think they're deep at is I don't think they're deep at safety, and I don't think they're deep at linebacker. And if you follow me, I've been maintaining that pretty much. I was like, those were the 2 position groups that I was like, all right, not super deep at safety, not super deep at, like, Terrence. I believe when Terrence Love gets back, he's gonna help. I think Bayard, Love was in Georgia Tech, and he re-pulled his hamstring on that last touchdown run. And he was in the area. You could just see him grab his hamstring. So I think Love will help. I think Myers is probably earning some more playing time. And you need that. I think Montrez Walker, I don't know. I saw him make a post today. I need to reach out to him. But I think Trez, you just need a classic, sometime to stop the run. You didn't need a traditional mic to come downhill and smack the snot out of somebody and say, every time you try us in this A gap, and we don't care what kind of window dressing you put on it, you come through this A gap, this is what's going to happen. Make them throw it, man. Because this is the thing, that run is so demoralizing. Just because you can't get off the field when you have a good running. It doesn't matter what your offense is doing. You cannot get off the field if they running the ball successfully. And I think you got to do the same thing if you Colorado. Fat Don said, Dukes, you think K-Salt had the maturity to get back at the quarterback one and really lead this team, or will Juju be the one that will lead the way? I don't know. I think K-Salt is going to get the first shot at it for sure. And I think as you start to say, this is part of the identity of the team, as you start to say, this is my guy, you start to craft more and more plays that aren't for all three that you craft for one. Now, I'm not saying Pat Sherman ain't doing that, but you know how it comes with the territory. When people, when you sign up to be an offensive coordinator, a defensive coordinator, or a head coach, it comes with the territory. When I signed up to become a member of the media, I knew people were going to attack me sometime for my takes. So when I don't bash coaches, it's not because I don't think that they can do a better job. It's just because, shoot, man, like everybody else gonna do it. You know what I mean? Like people, like it don't. If you want to see somebody bash Sherman, all you gotta do is put his name in Twitter. They are going crazy. So I just, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to bash him, but I can say this, man. I would like to see some better calls, in my opinion. But it's hindsight 2020 is different. But yeah, I felt like, I mean, if I don't, you know, if you see some more vertical shots, I'd be happy if you saw more first down runs that were successful. I just want to see you run the ball behind Jordan Cena consistently. That's my wish for the offense. Send me up. I don't care who it is, whatever running back, run them right off of power right behind Jordan Cena and whoever's pulling. I'd be happy. We got another super chat. Hold on, let me find it. Man, my boy Ohio 38 with a $2 super chat. I feel bad for Vickers, but it was down bad. Man, shout out to Ohio 38 for the super chat. But yeah, Makari Vickers didn't have the best game at all. And they're trying to find out who that guy is. Is it RJ? Is it him? I mean, you look at, if Coach Prime really only value just football only, I believe you could have had some people there. But there's some other stuff, you know, principles and things that go into the program. And I think everybody wants wins, but I mean, shoot, that's part of the price of when you run your program a certain way and you're not going for certain stuff. So yeah, man, I think he'll get better. He was a former top 50 player. There was a lot on him, man. You got to think that man was having heart surgery this summer, but you know, you still got to perform when you get the opportunity, and people want those opportunities for one-on-one. So I think he'll get better for sure. FPSD says, "Speak truth no matter what." I appreciate that, FPSD, with a $2 super chat. Now you got to, man. Like, you got to say the truth. Now, of course, I can speak without being abusive. A lot of people don't really have that skill set to say, you know what, I can say that this wasn't the best game without saying you suck and you need to be fired. But that's my job to do that. But shoot, man, a fan, somebody on Twitter, what they care. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I just, I try to be Ohio 38 with another $2 super chat. Appreciate it, dog. He said, damn, just think Pat replaced Sean Lewis. That's what I'm saying. You know what? Listen, one thing about it. If it gets to that point, don't think Coach Prime ain't scared. Hey, if it gets to that point, I'm not saying it's going to get to that point at all. But don't think that Coach Prime is going to be handcuffed by any relationship when it comes to the betterment of the program. That's what I say. Live chat going crazy. My bad. I'm trying to catch up to him. Just trying to make sure I get all the super chats. Miss Fat to you, love. Miss Tackles need to stop. I saw that. Where's Leftwich? Man, I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know. I don't know. Trump is too legendary. Yeah, you can go ahead and slide, buddy. I ain't doing that. Yeah, I gotta figure out how to be a moderator. Yeah, I don't, my brothers on morning run, they don't believe in, blocking the them crazy commenters, but I do. But I don't need. Hey, you can slide. So Trump is too legendary, bro. Leave me alone. David Isabel said it's not possible to throw the ball for 4 downs and be successful without an elite running back. Rick the Burns said left was left for family business. He coming back. Honor the family said $1.99 super chat. First of all, appreciate the super chat. He said gonna have to figure out our OC situation for Juju. Yeah. One thing I will say is that man, Juju is a soldier, man. Good spirits. Definitely. I can say that Juju ain't thinking about leaving. Like I can 1000% confirm that he's not. That's the last thing on his mind. The first thing on his mind is how to get better. For sure. I can 1000% confirm from not guessing. I'm telling you, he ain't thinking about leaving. Go Buff said, hell yeah, much respect, dudes. Nah, appreciate you, dog. Yeah, man, everybody's sitting here like you gonna troll me at my place, bro. No, you bothering my folks. Curry said, K Saul ain't do nothing wrong. His body language is perfectly fine. It's the coach since Shador was here, prime third year, still got hard as a coach, was never good. Man, hey. Everybody got their opinion on coaches. I can't change nobody's opinion. Because that's what comes with being a fan. You know what I'm saying? Fans get to make opinions. Put it like this, I used to be way worse on the Falcons. I did. Man, I went so hard on the Falcons one time. I was so mad. Man, shoot, man, the Falcons reached out and sent me a helmet. They was like, hey, buddy, hey. Yes, they did, man. Shout out to my man. I don't think it's because I went off, man, but the Falcons did show some love. So I was like, all right, you know what? But they respected my opinion. I was mad, but listen, I was mad about them birds, so I get it. Ohio 38 with a $5 super chat. Appreciate it, dog. He said, left with standing the curb, rubbing the hand together like bird, man. Man. And the other part about changing the coordinator mid-season is how much of your offense can you install in a week? After the game said they bribed you with a helmet. I ain't gonna say they bribed me, but I wasn't as mad. I wasn't as mad. Leon said you were mad that they sent you the helmet. Man, listen, I'm still a little bit mad. Y'all see my son go viral about every time I post my son. When the Falcons lose, I post my son, he go viral. I'm gonna do that. I'm a disappointed Falcons fan. He is. He don't deserve it. They did keep K Salter on video on the sideline. The network's bid. Yeah, they was. Yeah. I mean, because you don't know what's being said on the sideline. So somebody said something. They take this video, K Salt, they're like, he got a smirk on his face. You don't know what somebody said. I think it's time to at least give Brett, shout out to Bartolone, man, a chance to help call plays. I'm telling you, listen, it's a business. hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line. It's something going on. How many games do you think Prime got before it does get to that point? I don't know. You talking about for Prime? I don't. You talking about what point you mean? You mean the point that he makes a change at OC? Yeah, I think K-Sock gonna be straight. He's gonna be like, look, all right. Yeah, I think he's gonna be fine. Deuce, you know something for sure. Mickey, I want you to expound upon that. He said at this level, people aren't stupid; they are corrupt. Okay. Yeah, I mean, listen. When you look at the losses, you really should have beat Georgia Tech, right? I feel like that you didn't take advantage of the turnovers early, right? Against Tech. This is probably one of the. I mean, look, Notre Dame is 0-2 and they ranked, right? I think Colorado, at least roster wise, if you look at Notre Dame being ranked at 0-2, who they played, you look at I mean, Colorado lost to a ranked Georgia Tech team that's only going to go up, and then a Houston team that I really feel like is going to be one of the better teams in the Big 12. People looking at Houston at 4-8 Houston, the same way that people was looking at Colorado like 4-8 Colorado. That ain't the same team. It ain't the same team. Case out against Delaware wasn't good. The Savage Gauntlet said, I feel Prime on trying the other quarterbacks out. Now he can make an informed decision. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't bad either. I think he was 13 for 16. Like, he wasn't bad. I could have rolled with it. Amanda said, if I was Salter, I wouldn't touch that field again. Allow Star to continue to be his savior. You can't do that, Amanda. Not now that want to play ball unless he gonna red shirt. And I don't even think he got another red shirt. I mean, it comes with the territory. You know what I'm saying? It's like an emotion. It's, it comes with the territory. Playing for Birdie said the UH quarterback was literally throwing floaters and the UH wide receivers were beating CUD DBs to the ball. Where's the want to? Playing for Birdies feels like it was effort. I gotta watch the well-off video. Y'all, this is my travel setup, so I can't pull up the well-off video. Leon said getting pulled should fire him up. Right, 13 to 16 ain't good. No, that's what I said. I agree. I never felt like Salt. I didn't feel like Salt did anything to get benched. And if you look at my videos, I'm like, look, he didn't. I don't feel like he played poorly. Savage Gala said they play like they didn't have heart, look defeated. I mean, I think this Wyoming game, I think they'll be pissed this week. I need to go watch some of these practice videos. But it's just hard to tell what somebody gonna do until they get out there. Y'all know how it is. Somebody be talking all that trash for a fight, then you go out there, they get punched in the mouth, and you got a different idea. I think Coach Prime. I think that's what Coach Prime looking for. He's like, look, I don't care how y'all get it done. Find me the killers. He's the CEO. It's almost like you work in a warehouse. You know, I'm very familiar with this. If I'm running a warehouse, I don't get the CEO ain't coaching the players. The CEO of the warehouse ain't coaching the warehouse staff. They're not coaching the hourlies. They coaching the regionals and the managers. And I think that's what Coach Prime doing. So his coaching gonna change. Y'all know heads get to rolling around 4 or 5. So I know people just keep saying, "Oh man, you think Prime just gonna do this?" I'm like, nah, man. Listen, they don't get it right. Somebody, there's gonna be some furniture moving. Hold on, I'm trying to get to some of these chats. My bad, y'all. I'm on my old setup. Y'all know I done got booed just since I got my new setup. Hold on. Duke, hey, Ohio 38. Hey, boy, you crazy. He said, hey, Duke, your star is Martin Luther. Who was Malcolm X? I don't know, man. Ponder? I don't know. I don't. Strategic Lewis said, what's up, big dog? Said Salt got pulled because he was missing open throws on the run and wasn't running when he was supposed to. That's my man, Mr. Lewis. That's his opinion. Man, y'all know we're gonna have a call-in show, man. I'm gonna get a line. My man P. Rollins, he always said, man, you need a call-in show. I'm gonna get a line where y'all can call in and I'm gonna play the call. I hope I can screen the call. I know somebody gonna get on there and say something crazy, but I'll hang up on them. Yeah, I don't know who's going. I mean, look, I think it's K Salt. Me personally, I don't know. Hold up. The Ray said, Dukes, you know, we see it in your face. Hey, man, I don't know. I don't know. Dudes, you looking like them dudes done. No, man, I don't think they done. I really don't. I just think so. I just think it's got to change though. The product that they putting out there, that product done. Like it's not even a question. That product can't go to the Big 12 championship. That product can't go. That product can't go. Apostle 06 said, you know, someone want to share for a big super chat, man. You know what? I don't know nothing. Yeah, you can call me like partner to partner, Apostle. You got my number. I feel me. But yeah, you know, I got some pretty good intel for sure. But you know, stuff gonna reveal itself for sure. Yeah, I mean, two things can be true, right? Starr really did move the ball. He did some things that we hadn't seen in the first 2 games. Him throwing the deep ball to Sincere Brown, and it looked like he was hitting the deep ball consistently. Then he ran the ball. He got some. How we say in the hood, man. Excuse my language, man. But you know, he got some shit to him, right? What that is, it may not be consistent. And excuse my language, y'all. But yeah, you know, that's what they say. Got some shit to him. Like, you know, look. But is it 4 quarters worth? Is it 4 quarters worth? That's what we didn't see against Houston. Could it be a spot guy? You know, need a spark, bring him in for a little while. Yeah, 2-minute drill. I think for sure. I think he can be that. But man, K-Salt won the job out of fall for a reason, right? That's what it was. K-Salt won the job out of fall for a reason. And on the morning, and y'all can go quote me, on the morning run on the Friday, it was me, Adam Neely, and Chico. They asked, who do you think gonna start? I said Salter. I said, I think Salter gonna start. That was last Friday. Hold on, we got another super chat. Hold on, y'all. But y'all know I love y'all, boy. I'm down here in Miami. I said, we're gonna go live. I appreciate y'all. Honor the family. What's up, HTF? He said, when the team don't believe in the quarterback, that's what you get. That's what Honor the family believes for sure. I can't, you know what I'm saying? Another super chat. Roger Dinkins, 912 said, Dukes, do you have any intel on 12 possibly being traded? Nah. Nah, no intel on that. I do got some intel on that Raven stuff. I got an interview coming up. We just got to get our schedules together. But yeah, I got some pretty good intel on that for sure. And you know what, man? You know what? Nobody. Hindsight is 2020. I think if you leave K-Salt in that game against Delaware, I think they still win. I don't know what the score would be. I think they still win. I think the result. Do I think K-Salt beats Houston? I don't know. Does extending drives help the defense? Possibly. But I still saw some gaps there too. This is a total team effort. Let's just keep this a buck now. We can all point to one decision. They're not playing, but the team is not playing up to its ability. When you go look at all these 4 and 5 stars, and you look at this first round guy at corner, you look at his first round offensive tackle, and this other guy, this other tackle this other guard who's on the Blesto report. For y'all who know what the Blesto report is, which is one of the NFL scouting reports that comes out every year that NFL teams use to identify who are the best prospects in the country. Colorado got guys on these reports, man. You got too much talent to be playing like this. Y'all just want to keep it a buck. That's it. Man, everything look good on paper. It's like that bad female that look good on Instagram. Then you get her and you realize she don't cook, she don't clean, she don't take care of no house, she yell at her kids. She don't do nothing, sit in that phone. You don't want to be the IG baddie alone. You want the whole package. That's what Colorado got to be. It can't just look good. It got to be good. And that comes down to everything. Practice habits, execution, camaraderie, leadership. Curry. He said it's the coach and nobody going to ask. You ask him. Like what? Curry, this is your moment. What would you ask Coach Prime if you had a question at the press conference? What would you ask him? King on the throne, you know ball. Curry, what would you ask Coach Prime? Gennaro said Salt couldn't beat Georgia Tech with 3 turnovers in the first place. Please keep it a buck because Houston didn't turn over the ball once. I literally just said I don't know if K Salt beats Houston either. I think that was a total team effort. They all got whooped. I don't think the quarterback was the only role that had fault in the Houston game. What I said was I think K Salt still beats Delaware. All right, look, here go the questions for Coach Prime. Ask him, why isn't Salter starting? I'm gonna answer like Coach Prime. This is what we're gonna y'all ask Coach Prime. I'm gonna answer like Coach Prime. All right. Motivated and Dedicated, or the Motivated and Dedicated Press Journal. Coach Prime, why isn't Caden Salter starting? Because he didn't do the things that were required to start that week. Due to, I mean, what you think he go? What do you think Coach Prime gonna say? Because I don't like him. No, he ain't gonna say that. Like, you know what the answer is gonna be. You know he's gonna say why he didn't start. I'm gonna give you a real answer. Coach Prime will probably say something like, going into the week, we felt like Ryan Staub gave us our best chance to win. That's what he gonna say. All right, next question. We can do a Coach Prime press conference. Miss P said, ask Prime about holding the coaches accountable as well. You got to formulate the question because I'm going to answer it like Coach Prime. We can just get it out now. Say Now said, I will ask Prime, this is year 3 for you. What is the identity of your football program? Now, that's a good ass question. Now, look, that ain't no question. We trying to hold nobody's feet to the fire. That's a question. Actually, I damn near asked Coach Prime that. I asked him what the biggest difference between year 3 and year 1 was. That's something I will actually ask. No, all BS aside. Say Now, great question. I will ask because that's a real question. Like, what's the identity? Coach Prime will probably say something like, what do you consider to be the identity? I don't know what he would say to that. That's a good one. That's a great question. Honor the Film said the team would have played better behind Salt. For sure. I mean, I don't know. Don't let me agree to that. That's opinion because we didn't see it. George Smith said, as an A&M alum, this feels like watching A&M for the last couple of years when Jimbo was the coach. Plenty of talent, but can't put it together on the field. I can go for that. Right now, they're not putting it together on the field. But I just think they're going to get it together, man, because I feel like the Big 12 is so wide open. All they got to do is come out and make a concerted effort. Even though the Big 12 is known for, like, throwing the ball around, they playing a lot of running teams. When they figure out how to stop the run, they're going to be dangerous. Hey, Capital BG said Coach Prime don't be answering folks. He gonna tell you what he want to tell you. That's what I'm saying. Like, people be like, y'all gotta have some balls and go ask Coach Prime this. Like, bro, man, it's like you can't even like Chip. What's my name? LSU man, Brian Kelly. Like, head coaches ain't doing that no more. Brian Kelly not doing it. Kirby Smart not doing it. Kirby Smart to make you feel so stupid for saying something crazy to him. It's just the truth. Ohio 38 said, I would ask for a pair of diamond turfs. Definitely did that. He definitely told me no. I mean, and I asked coaches questions. Shoot, I asked Kirby Smart what his favorite wing was in Atlanta. That's something I really wanted to know. That joint went viral. He said he like American Deli. Shout out to Coach Smart. Amanda NBS. Girl, now what's up with you? Please know that he will lie in a minute. Amanda. All right, come on, Amanda. Now, what's up? Sound like we getting personal. What are you a Colorado fan? Jackson State fan? Let's just talk about it. We here. This the fam. We all here together. What's your personal? Because What's your what's the deal? Let's just talk about it. I ain't mad at you. I just want to know what your deal is. King on the throne, crazy. But you got real paper. He said, who else already pre-ordered the iPhone 17 Pro in Cosmic Orange will get it on Friday? Not me. Don Juan 914 said, Dukes, do you think Prime is able to handle and accept criticism honestly? For sure. I think so. I've seen people say something to him and get on his head before. He definitely can. I think he gonna consider the source though. Let me tell you this. A lot of people think Coach Prime, you can't say nothing to him. He thin-skinned and all of that. No, I think Coach Prime considers the source a lot of the times too. But man, if you don't think his coaches, like he didn't even get into this without talking to coaches. So it's a lot of people, and I think that's a lot of people. Like it ain't just Coach Prime. I think anybody a head coach at a university, it ain't gonna be but so much you could tell them. I don't care if that's Hugh Freeze. I don't care if that's Gus Malzahn. I don't care if that's Kirby Smart. I don't care if it's Nick Saban. Like you remember, Nick Saban would take somebody to task in his day, and he was the winningest coach of all time because there's nothing you can ever do to make everybody happy. And everybody has, and as fans, when we pledge our fanhood to somebody, and I'm saying we especially with social media, we feel like, hey, I deserve an answer for this. But then it's like, hey, look, I'm being tasked with this role. So trust me as a fan. And fans don't have to do it. So I think that there's a level of understanding where it's coming from then that is actually coming. Like, it's like, all right, okay. Nick Saban calls me and say, hey, I saw something. I'm going to listen. He ain't finna, Jesse Armstead calls and said, hey, I saw this. He's listening. Random user, Billy Goat 3444 on Twitter tweets and says, Deion, you need to fire your coordinator. He probably not listening to that. That's just being honest. Dude, you think Hood is missing a secondary? Like my daddy said, it's a Bluebird Blue. Hood balling. I just talked to him the other day. Great kid, man. I wish it would have worked out. It just didn't. But he definitely miss him. Man, shoot, man, really could use Kamani McClain right now. For real. Appreciate that super chat too, dog. I'm trying to read these chats, but y'all tripping. Gennaro said, man, the NBS is keeping 1,000 because we have been promised every year that we are running the ball. We all know that's a lie. Gennaro, you saying every year? Like how many years? You mean Colorado? Or you mean just Coach Prime back to Jackson State? My boy Jesus Elias said, I see everyone in the media talking down on CU, but not many people giving Houston credit. That's what I'm saying. I think Houston going to be one of the better teams in the Big 12. Like, bro, if you don't know who Willie Fritz is, you just got to do your homework. But I think people really just looking at Houston being 4-8 last year and not looking at what they just did and what they're doing. Like, nah, they not slop. Jose World 86 said, I miss them JSU days. Them boys were tight like a family, for sure. I think it does feel a little different there. It really does. Atlanta Avenue, Africa. Great question. Do you think Coach Prime? Now he's asking me, do you think, as in me, do you think Coach Prime is man enough to apologize to his team, take responsibility for this coaching blunder, and win back his team? One, I don't know if he's lost his team. Okay. Secondly, if Coach Prime says it's on me, he means it's on me. This was on me, dog. I 1000% believe he'll do that. That's on me. I can see that. It's almost like even with Coach Prime, be like, sometimes you'll see him, and he's not like a real big guy on my bads, right? Man, what the hell? Hold on 1 second. Now we good. Who caught them Jordan red fire red? Oh, the black tongues. I ain't get them. I ain't get them. Optimistic said, man, them five sitting like ducks. Bro, hey, what shoe is anybody even after this year? Like, what's the next shoe? That's real. Imagine we had Hood, Comani, and McClain. I'm telling you. Said, why can't people disagree with Deion without being accused of being from JSU? Come on now, calling me bitter for what? Grow up. No, what I'm saying is you came in here the whole night, Miss Amanda, and no disrespect, but it's like it's kind of been like it ain't about disagreeing. You just called a man a lie. Like, that's like in our community, you call somebody a lie. That's like he ain't gonna do nothing but lie. That don't sound like if he said something that he believed to be true and it ended up not being true. That's a difference between calling somebody a liar. And I'm just being fair. I didn't call you bitter. I just said it must be something. I said, let's talk about it. But I just wanted to know, if you're a Colorado fan, that's different. You don't have to be a Deion fan. You don't have to agree with everything he does. But you gonna call somebody a lie. You know what I'm saying? You just been a little aggressive tonight. That's all. I just want to know where you from. You feel me? I don't think you bitter. Yeah, Miss Mel said calling me a lie is fighting her. Yeah, you just can't call nobody a lie. King on the Throne said, why are white lies acceptably cute and not the black lies? Why he put that sign behind that, boy? You crazy. Another super chat in Ohio 38. You think CP health, Coach Prime health early on affect the team? Yeah, I think so. I don't know how, but I think it does have an effect a little bit. I just seeing but I think it could have a positive effect too. Optimistic said most Colorado fans are Deion fans, bro. Colorado just not a good. Yeah. Right now, I just said if this the product, if they don't change it, if this the product they're gonna put out, I don't think it's gonna be a successful season at all. I just think that there's a world where they can get better as a team. I think they got the talent to do it. I don't think Houston was a more talented team than Colorado. If you just go up and down that roster and you go guy for guy, pound for pound, I don't think Houston was a more talented team. I don't. I said he will lie. I didn't say he was a liar. Amanda, if I say you'll go sleep with somebody in a minute in public, right? And excuse this reference. I didn't call you a promiscuous woman. I said you will go sleep with somebody. But when did everybody think I was calling you a hoe? And that's not respect. I'm just telling you. Like that's kind of what you're saying. Like, oh, she'll do this in a minute. Oh, I'll say she'll show up late to work in a minute. But that don't mean I call her a late person. Come on, Amanda. Come on now. Curry said, I want to see them boys win every game, but when I'm here, him saying 100 years of NFL experience, I would like to think we should be beating these teams like we all watching the same game. They get our coach. Hey, Curry, I ain't mad at that. See, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like, I like that. You know what I mean? I like that for sure. Leon said it just like this. Man, a nip it in the bud, they got their ass beat, but it's not as bad as people making it. Notre Dame lost 2 games within the score and ain't no one tripping on Freeman. But they have tripped on Freeman. I ain't mad for people tripping. But I like that point, Leon. But you got to think. Notre Dame last year lost to Northern Illinois and wound up in a national championship game. So Freeman bought himself a little time. Colorado, they team too talented not to play better. That's it. It's too talented of a team to not play better. And I think, if they don't get it fixed, somebody's going to get it fixed. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I think they got to get it fixed. I think they're too talented to not be there. You know what I'm saying? No, they shouldn't have. They lost to 2 solid teams, but they should have never lost to Houston the way they lost. Please I'm keeping it above. Bro, Willie Fritz, right now, people talking about like, okay, cool. Look at what Willie Fritz did with Mekhi Hughes at Tulane against great teams. Right now, Mekhi Hughes, they got my boy sitting on he 4th, 5th on the depth chart at Oregon. It next man up every time. Willie Fritz's system is better than the sum of the players. And it always has been. So I ain't gonna say just the best running backs, because it ain't like Houston just ran the ball down your throat with multiple running backs. Man, that quarterback was getting off, and then he used his personnel the way he was supposed to. And Colorado was missing players too. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like you may not think Houston is a good team. I think they're a pretty good team. But they got to find out where the disconnect coming from, to be honest. But look, Amanda NBS, I don't know if that stands for National Black Society or no bullshit. Either way it goes, I don't mean no disrespect to you as a black woman. Much respect, much love. I just be like, hey, man, we just try to keep it light in here. But you were more than welcome to your opinion, for sure. All right, y'all, look. It's we at an hour and 15 minutes. It's been fun. Of course, everybody likes to talk when we all laughing after a win. But I'm glad we can get in here and have some good commentary about what you as a fan think needs to be done. And everybody's opinion is valid because you are a fan. But we just got to see how it shakes out. Man, if you out right now, make it home safe, for sure. Hey, man, y'all chill out. Hey, man, y'all chill out in the chat, man. I'm finna end this, man. Y'all, this ain't what we do. We ain't doing all that, man. All right, man. See y'all. Bet.